Hi, how you doing? I'm Orlando with On Point Custom Auto here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What we're going to help you out with today is we're going to show you how to drop the front bumper on a 2015 through 2017 model Dodge Challenger. There's a couple of different reasons why you might want to do that. You might want to gain access to removing your headlights. You might want to be doing replacement or swapping out your fog light housings or installing fog lights if there's no factory fogs already on your model. It's only going to take a couple of tools. It should only take you 20 to 30 minutes, and it's not that hard. Let's show you what you're going to need to get the job done.
All right, here's what you're going to need to get the job done. You're going to need a 7mm socket. You're going to need a 10mm socket. You're going to need a ratchet, a short extension, a very thin Phillips screwdriver, and a flathead. Let's begin. All right, for starters, once you've got your hood open, your Challenger should have a couple of hood covers. You're going to take both of these hood covers off, and that's going to reveal a total of 6 plastic clips that you're going to need to remove. Let's show you where those are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a total of 6 plastic clips on the top of the front bumper. Then you're going to take your ratchet with a 10mm and you're going to place it on that bolt right there, just on the inside of the fender, right above your headlight and between the fender and the bumper. Same thing here. There's a spot for a 10mm bolt right there. So on the top side, you have those 2 covers that we removed. You have a total of 6 plastic clips. You can remove those with your flathead. And you have 2 10mm bolts that are pretty easy to get to with your short extension and your ratchet, 10mm once again. After you've released the 6 push pins with a flathead and the 2 10mm bolts from the top side, as well as the cover, you're totally done on the top end. All right, after you've released all of the pull pins and the bolts from the top side of the bumper, you're gonna come into either wheel well. We have ours on a lift, so it gives us the liberty of turning the wheel in. That way we don't have to take it off. Right there is 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. There's a total of 5 plastic clips in here. That one right there you're going to need to remove with a flathead. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 total plastic pins right there. You're going to use the very thin Phillips screwdriver, and you're going to pop right into the middle, and that's going to release the pin, and you're going to pop it right out. It's nice and easy for you to pull. You can get into the inside and see the inside. Now what we're going to show you next is you're going to need your 10mm ratchet, and on the inside of that fender well right there, let's get a light in there. Right up there, that's a 10mm bolt. There's 1 10mm bolt there that needs to be removed, and then there's 1 10mm bolt there. So once again, once you get on the inside of that fender, you can reach that bolt right there with your short extension and your 10. That's a 10mm bolt. There's nothing else on the inside there. On the older models, there's 2 or 3 of them. There's only 1 on these newer models. And then there's 1 right there holding the bottom of it. And that's going to release the entire side fender from the bumper, top and bottom. Once again, you've got those 5 clips. Bottom one is a flathead. The next 4, you're going to use your skinny Phillips. You've got a 10mm bolt that goes there, and you've got a 10mm bolt that goes there. Once you've released the 5 pull pins and the 2 bolts on the driver's side, you're going to come over to the passenger side and do the same thing. You've got the one that you use with a flathead. Then you've got the 4 that you're going to push out with a very thin Phillips. You're going to open up that flat, and you've got that 1 10mm right there. And then on the inside, you have that 1 10mm right there. So in total, you've got 5 plastic pins and 2 bolts, 10mm on the inside, and that's going to remove the side fender. All right, next step is you're gonna wanna take out all of the bolts from the bottom of the bumper that's holding it to the bottom of the skid plate. There's 7mm bolts. That's 1. Follow it around. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. That's 6. And that's 7. Once again, there are a total of 7 bolts. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. A total of 7mm bolts on the bottom of your Challenger, and that should release the bottom bumper from the bottom skid plate. All right, so let's give it a quick review. We've pulled off 6 total plastic pins from the top. You've got your 2 10mm bolts that go at the top area right there on the top clip. Inside of each fender well, you've got a total of 5 plastic push pins. The top 4 in that area right there are going to be pushed out by a very thin Phillips. And then that one right there, you're going to pop out with a flathead. Then you have 2 remaining 10mm bolts. A 10mm bolt right there and a 10mm bolt right there. And that's going to release that whole clip to be able to pop it out. Same thing on the other side. You've got the 2 10mm bolts and the 5 plastic clips on the inside of the fender well. Underneath the car, you have a total of 7 7mm bolts, and those are going to allow you to release the entire front clip.
Now that you've got all of the bolts and all of the pull clips removed from the front bumper, you're free to remove the front bumper. It's going to take a little bit of force. You can pop it out right there. Release nice and free. Take a rag, place the rag in place. And that'll save you from any scratches. You're gonna come over to the other side. You're gonna pull off, and with a very small amount of force, the front clip pulls right off.
All right, once you've got the front bumper off,
right in this area, as you can see right there, that's the last clip that you're going to need to unplug. Put your fingers on it, pull. That fog light harness right there is the last thing that you're going to need to remove.
now that we've removed the entire front clip off of our Dodge Challenger, we're free to access the headlights. That's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. T30 on the bit. We didn't mention in the beginning of the video because this video is about dropping the bumper, but if you do want to gain access to your headlights and remove them for customizing, it is a T30 drill bit.
Now that we finished dropping the front bumper on our 2017 Dodge Challenger, we're going to go ahead and take the headlights out. We're going to toss them in an oven. We're going to get them open, and we're going to install an Oracle 4-piece RGB halo.
On Point Custom Auto, 773-920-0538. On Point Custom Auto on Facebook. On Point Custom Auto on Instagram. This is a 2017 Dodge Challenger SRT. Set up with the Oracle RGB halos. They're Wi-Fi connected. Let them strobe through colors. You can set it to one color, whatever your preference is.